the battle of North America and the LJL. 2-2, not a score. There's not going to be a game 5, folks. You don't want to go with the tie.
We'll continue.
Exactly. And at the end of the day, of course, you want to just show your best self for your fans out there, especially Detonation FocusMe. Being at main event, LGL, first LGL team in the main event. So I think it's pretty important for them to pick up that first win.
Yeah, and honestly, I mean, 100 Thieves coming off the T1 game, I think it was a pretty disappointing game to watch. It was a pretty disappointing game for them. They were extremely hesitant, and I don't think that's how you want to exit Worlds. You want to be able to show that you can be a proactive team, that you can be an aggressive team. I'm looking for them to draft early aggressive lanes, to try to be proactive. This is a team they can do it against, and they got to show that they can scrap.
Especially like last time, I swear, Yutapon is going to remember the last game they had versus 100 Thieves, where FBI, Huhi, and Closer were just running them down like a train. It was initially it was the 2v1 dive, and then on the bounce back, it was the TP that came through and then got a Yutapon kill. Then it was a lane gank that killed Yutapon. He literally could not play the game.
Well, right now, we're going to have to see how they can set him up for success so that does not happen again, because we have 100 Thieves locking in all of their topside picks in the first 3. GP, the historic OP blind pick of many patches past, but with the grass proc no longer hitting as a melee hit on Parlay, this champion's blind pick status has gone down a lot.
It absolutely has, and I mean, honestly, a lot of Ssumday's kind of go-to champions were nerfed. When you think of the Renekton, when you think of the GP, those were 2 of his most consistent champions who had both been hit pretty hard coming into Worlds.
Yeah.
But it does force a pretty interesting situation. You know, I know we just saw Owner play Poppy Jungle, but Evi has already played it twice. I am expecting that this is going to be top lane against Ssumday, and it gives 100 Thieves the opportunity to actually target Steel in the jungle, to push him even more down the jungle tier list here, assuming Poppy's going top, because they first picked Lee Sin. Xin is already banned out, Graves is banned out, Poppy we're assuming is going top, so they could try to get a really good, advantageous matchup for Closer and see if he can run away with this game.
Or what I would love to see here from Detonation FocusMe, I know that Poppy can be a flex if you put it into the jungle and then have a great carry top lane pick there for Evi that has shown flexibility in the past, being able to play carry options. This is a pretty difficult position for Ssumday to be in, now having that blind pick Twisted Fate that can kind of run roughshod on him.
And I think that Poppy, you know, whether it's jungle or top, actually quite good into Sylas, quite good in the Lee Sin, both 2 champions that are very reliant on the dashes, and you know, it should be able to shut those down as far as the playmaking is concerned.
Absolutely should be able to, and additionally, you're seeing some of Evi's champion pool being limited, respecting the potential for that Poppy to be a counter pick, taking away the 2 champions that he has been the most comfortable on. Only thing left for him right now is the Gnar that we've seen him perform on, really.
Yeah, and in the past, I remember seeing Evi be very comfortable on the Camille. And knowing that Detonation FocusMe will go into 4-5 with counter pick for top lane, Tryndamere being hovered here, it is actually really oppressing.
Oh.
Yes, I'm expecting this to actually be a Tryndamere for Evi, but once again, it can go there in the mid lane for Arya. This has been a great draft here for Detonation FocusMe.
I mean, this has got to be top, unless they're going to do TF top. That would be
you're
super
right.
random.
Yes.
So, like,
Right.
I'm expecting this to be top. This is something that people bring out in solo queue, you know, more often. At Worlds, we've actually only seen it mid, and it's been Ghost Flash. In solo queue, a lot of times against GP, you actually go Ghost Ignite if you want to go super all in. I'm going to be interested to see if it is going to be double combat summoners, whether Ghost Flash or Ghost Ignite, or because he's playing top, if he'll actually go TP. Because it is very high risk, high reward if you fall behind.
Yeah.
And you don't have that TP to get back to lane and top side.
100%. And once you get your first item, I'm expecting it to be a shield bow. Either way, it's just going to be really difficult for Ssumday to be able to hold the lane. He's going to be under constant dive threat with the Twisted Fate. And I'm now seeing here, let's see here. The Leona could also, knowing how Gaeng actually operates, wanting to leave the lane quite early, could be there to help out it just in case.
And overall, now we have, waiting on the final pick here, but a very powerful composition from the side of 100 Thieves. But if this Tryndamere gets going, Evi has been a player that can take off in these games, absolutely carry. And in a long lane like top lane, you take one bad trade, you're getting run down by that Tryndamere.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Tryndamere TF is a frightening 1-3-1 here. The ability that they have to play through side lanes is going to be really, really scary. And really, 4 of the 5 champions that 100 Thieves have drafted here can be shut down by the Poppy W. You think of Alistar engage, Lee Sin, Sylas, but also Kaisa's ultimate can actually be rejected by that Poppy W as well. So it's something that they're going to have to look out for. And I think a lot of this game should be played around top. If you can put the Tryndamere down, he can be pretty worthless up on that top side, as long as Ssumday can stabilize and not fall prey to those TF roams.
And it's a really good lane here for Yutapon and Gaeng. I'm going to quite like this one because I already mentioned as we were coming into the draft itself, the fact that the last time they played off, Closer played heavily towards bot side, was able to constantly get FBI, who already had a lead, further into an advantage there. Actually, 4 deaths at the 8-minute mark there for Yutapon. So interested to see how Steel reacts to that. Just looking at the stats this morning, knowing that in this group, Closer is at the top in terms of jungle proximity to the bot lane. And it's 8 points until you get to the second place. It's literally 18%.
That's not a dual lane anymore. That's a tri-lane.
Lane,
we play in Dota? This ain't TI. They're at Worlds. What are they doing?
I mean, it's a good question, because I look at an Alistar Kaisa lane.
That's a good question. Thank you.
Wasn't a question, was it? It's a thing that you said that I would like to respond to.
I said, what are they doing? That was a question.
Okay, that's a question. That's fair.
Yeah.
Well, they're not making it out of groups, but they might be getting some pride back. Ouch! Yeah, that was an unnecessary shot. I embarrassed myself, and then I just tried to take someone down with me. This is the thing that's important about this bot lane when we look at it. I think you see Kaisa Alistar, obviously a lot of kill threat as Kaisa gets more damage under her belt, but compared to Leona, MF, if Closer doesn't go bottom lane, that's going to be difficult for Huhi and FBI to weather that storm.
Especially when it's Comet, right? You know, they're playing more for lane, playing to poke out the Kaisa. Kaisa, not one of the strongest laning champions, does get outranged pretty heavily here. You have to look to play aggressive. But just to follow up on the Tryndamere, it is going to be Ghost TP, so he's not going double combat sums. This is kind of the more, I don't know, you would want to say safe route, right? It's less exciting than Ignite or something like that. But because top is such a long lane and you can be punished so heavily with freezes, if you go double combat summoners, even if you don't die to a gank, they just chunk you out. Like, that can ruin your game alone. So I think TP is smart. Yeah,
I'm expecting Steel to actually want to play top to bot side too. So it also just makes it so you are risk averse. If anything were to happen, if you make a bad trade, and also Closer is usually more willing to take those 2v1 dives. So then, you know, Evi could always play it safe until Steel is back in his side of the map.
And I think this bot lane is only going to get more difficult as they have opted to leash, which means Yutapon and Gaeng immediately have lane control here. But do we see maybe a cheeky level 2 gank, maybe something kind of cheesy there on the bottom side to force? For now, you would expect Lee Sin to path bottom to top to maybe support the GP.
This is kind of interesting because Ssumday has to get back to lane or he's going to be zoned off XP. I'm not sure if he didn't get XP for any of those minions.
Yeah.
He actually missed all 3 melees. So he tried to really go in for the Trial by Fire passive trades there. That's why he was going so aggressively. But Evi actually played that really smart, spinning past Ssumday and then zoning him off the XP. The only problem is Evi lost a lot of health there. So he does have the early XP advantage, but if you get chunked too low and you have to base, like, it's going to be a really, really rough.
And GP is no slouch in early game when it comes to potential damage output. You highlighted already, the passive level 2 for Tryndamere is going to feel good. You're going to have the access to, you know, a little bit more damage coming in from the Q, but probably not enough to take a trade when you're that low health.
Yeah, and just to be aware here for Evi is the fact that it is TP on Abbeddage, so like a lot of the times 100 Thieves is willing to go for dives and challenge for a TP response for Arya, and then they'll just back away from it. So that's something to take note of if 100 Thieves want to pressure him.
And while that zoning off XP thing looked pretty good,
there he is.
The 13 CS to 1 thing does not look so good. Evi now trying to survive. This is not a level 6 Tryndamere. He will not get to respawn.
Wait, somebody's gonna die.
Ssumday, no, the flash away, kick in, Closer. Oh! Oh no! That's so good for the Tryndamere.
Oh, he is losing a lot of minions, but he gets first blood, so his buy is going to be fine. He is going to be smiling there. The Doran shield plus just the Q healing coming through. They didn't really have enough damage to finish him off, and then the tower's fully heated up.
Yeah, what a disaster there. I thought it was really smart from Evi to hide around the minions as it was coming through. Ssumday trying to keep him interested as Closer comes by, but as you can see, as the minion wave comes through, Evi understands that he's just trying to hide behind the Q.
Yeah, Closer couldn't get the Q for so long. I mean, he's just walking through the minions. Evi honestly played that really, really well. Closer never got an opportunity to actually get that off, and now down on the bot side.
Procs the passive, Yutapon now running for his life. FBI looking to finish the kill. TP on the way in. FBI has to be careful in this one. Arya stepping forward, a gold card. FBI should just immediately drop. TP coming in from the side. 100 Thieves, but it's a little bit late. Huhi's got the combo going. Abbeddage just coming to be a spectator in this one.
Yeah, Abbeddage was way late on that TP. He wanted to finish his base and buy prior to actually making the move because TF had the earlier base in mid. So I understand that, but then at that point, the TP is not really going to get anything done for them besides just resetting the wave.
Yeah, would have been much easier for him to hold a TP. It's kind of sad that we didn't get to see the context of the 2v2 bot lane. Just simply shouldn't happen for Yutapon and Gaeng to be losing in that 2v2. But in the end, yeah, we still are able to get the kill there for Alistar.
Ssumday.
2 kills too. Wow, really close.
And I think you look back on it, obviously that top dive going awry is the reason that Evi can still play this lane. He was disastrously behind in terms of CS, but now things aren't too bad. He's got Steel in the area, and while Ssumday is coming out on top in these trades, they've got pressure in their favor. Steel, presumably they just help push out this lane and then walk away. Huhi already on the roam, though. If they stick around, this could be disastrous.
But Detonation FocusMe feel confident, knowing that Gaeng is up here too. So if there was a scrap to happen there to challenge Steel, you also just have the support to match.
And it's pretty interesting, you know, how the minion aggro made such a difference there. You know, Evi using Ghost to just kind of run around the minions, basically not allow the Q to get off. So here's the 2v2, back down on the bottom side. Huhi, as Yutapon steps forward to CS there, just going directly in on him. You know, drops the Ignite, flash stun after the exhaust had already come out. You know, he's not playing Cleanse, he's not playing Heal, so they felt that they had the opportunity to go for the all-in.
It's just unfortunate for both Yutapon and Gaeng because just in the prior week, it's just been a really rough time for them in lane. So 2v2 haven't been working out, both versus T1 and versus 100 Thieves, and this kind of continues that.
And the thing that also really sucks is Alistar gets all of his spells off despite Leona going in and trying to interrupt him. So it's like in that situation, maybe you can go on the Kaisa and buy a little bit more time. Maybe that puts you in a situation where the trade goes too long. I'm not sure, but it definitely feels like that was not something you expected to see, at least on paper, when you compare these two lanes.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, it is one of those situations where, you know, they have the additional range advantage, they have the comment, so they have more poke, but the way that you can threaten that as the Kaisa Alistar is the all-in. And when Yutapon steps forward there, if FBI is hitting you and Huhi is on you, and Gaeng is trying to peel the Alistar, you are losing that fight every single time, right? It's kind of the two members connecting on the one. And after Alistar has used his initial combo, he doesn't really have that much more damage coming out anyway. He's already done what he came to do. So peeling him doesn't really make much sense, and I agree with you. You kind of have to try to go FBI in those circumstances.
Difficult now, though, as it seems like they're going to be able to hold on the lane priority. Steel is here on the bottom side, but Huhi able to leave the lane first. Yutapon really going to be forced to respond here and at least pick up the CS and XP under the tower. Checking in, though, right now, 300 gold lead to the side of 100 Thieves, 5-kill game so far. The Tryndamere on the top side, ticking over to level 6. Ssumday as well, though, crucially. Individual 1v1 might be hard, though, because here comes the TF. He's going to cannon barrage, trying to clear the wave, trying to hold on. Evi now spinning in, but with the ulti still up and available, you have to feel like this is just going to be it. Ulti coming out, the rage is undying, but Ssumday is not. DFM grabbing the kill.
Yeah, and they just found their window, knowing that Sylas was rotating towards the bot side to secure Scuttlecrab for closer. Arya really smart being able to find that pick pop. And this is just going to be a constant throughout the game. Someday it's just going to require help as the game goes on.
Yeah, normally as Sylas, you want to be able to actually pull the TF ulti so you can match those types of plays, but Abbeddage was not sitting on that ultimate. I'm not sure if he just, you know, wasn't around Arya. Nice little dash to avoid Steel's stun there, but that is a big kill. And I also wonder how different that could have looked if Ssumday actually placed the ultimate more on himself. The slow wasn't actually on top of Evi. He put it immediately onto the minions. And if you put it more in like a neutral state, where you have the slow on the Tryndamere initially, you can kite out more of the auto attacks, that can look potentially pretty different.
Absolutely. Of course, now it's a difficult position because the Tryndamere is certainly just going to keep getting stronger. Always a force to be reckoned with, and TF now as well. Abbeddage really going to suffer from this play going so well for DFM, and there you highlight it. Yes, he gets the entire wave, which he might not have done if he put it on top of himself, but he doesn't get anything back in exchange.
Yeah, and so I think the strategy was sound for Ssumday. I think overall, just understanding if they had a better foresight that Arya was going to be looking topside, he could probably just use ulti and dish the turret, but at the end of the day, it's just going to be a hard situation to be in.
Going to be returning to lane. Oh, God, I hate this. The thing I don't like about Tryndamere is he just is going to build attack speed boots and not get punished for it. It's like, why is that? You, like, have to go tabbies or mercs. So, like, if you're a bruiser and you're not going tabbies, like, I guess cooldown boots, but it's a little ridiculous. Of course, going to make it that much harder for Ssumday if it is played out in a long lane. But closer coming in. Steel also in the area. More burst damage for sure on the side of 100 Thieves so they can find their combo, but 5 members of DFM committed to the top side, and 100 Thieves seem ready to rumble. Huhi now going in, is going to find the 2-man. Abbeddage taking away the Leona ult. They found a lot of lockup. Steel now getting isolated. That's an ult across 2. Evi still doing okay on the backside, but he doesn't do too much damage. Focusing now on FBI. Is going to get kicked back. He's going to get knocked back. Undying Rage still there, but closer. Waiting on the kick as long as possible. Trying to finish him right as the heal comes out. Shot from downtown. Gonna finish him. Flash in for the auto. It's a good fight for 100 Thieves.
Attacking fast won't save you there, Drakos. Punished. Where are your tabbies now?
Man, I love that isolation on Evi. Taking a second look at this fight, Yutapon's ulti really didn't hit too much there. Honestly, if he decided to take it a little bit more farther to the right and focus on FBI, that was split from the team, would have been a little better.
Yeah, I mean, getting the initial damage there on Abbeddage, but able to get out of that, no problem. I actually thought the setup was really nice from Huhi. The initial knockback to actually stack up both the Poppy and the Leona instead of using the full combo. He just headbutts one onto the other, then the Pulverize coming through. And there we see a sight everyone loves. Tryndamere dying.
Tryndamere dying. Down 26 CS. And behind an XP. So Evi, yes, of course, he's going Gore Drinker 2. Very powerful item, very powerful champion if he gets enough time to scale up. But he's going to need that much more time to be a big, big threat. And Ssumday chilling. He does get the ninja tabbies.
Ooh.
Tryndamere, this is not AP Tryndamere. That he hurts, but not that bad.
So to clarify, I just kind of went with it because you were saying you didn't like the attack speed thing. Why do we like someone going the more defensive boot? I'm on Team Drakos here, to be clear.
All right.
But I just wanted to make sure why.
Explain yourself.
And there is a GP on that top side.
Yep, I'm with you.
There's also a Kaisa. So as long as you're not fighting Abbeddage, that's like maximum value. Now, Freak is going to come in here with a spreadsheet and tell me why I'm wrong or right at some point. But that's my general feeling without any actual math.
Okay. I wasn't even thinking about math. I was just more like, don't we like the Chad builds here,
I mean, okay, but like, is Gore Drinker the Chad build?
No.
No, absolutely not. So I'm just saying, like,
but it's the Chad boot.
Exactly. I'm saying you go full Chad or you don't go at all. That's my point.
Okay.
You know, like
This is more of a Brad build. He's like halfway.
Yeah, commit or don't. You know what I mean? Like, choose how you.
No one likes a flake.
No. Yeah.
True.
Absolutely.
It's fine. It's fine. We'll reset. Like, Raz, we just pass it to you or like save this joke, Raz. Go.
Please, Raz.
Cloud Drake down. 100 Thieves, I think, clearly feeling pretty comfortable at this stage of the game. The TF is the big scary part. As much as the Tryndamere got so much of that help early on, it is Arya with 3 kills in a very early Everfrost. So he's naturally the player that we can look towards. He's got the global presence coming out as well, especially with Gaeng freed up from and roaming out of this bottom lane. So that's where we have to cast our eyes on the side of DFM and see how 100 Thieves can weather that storm. Yeah,
I'm actually liking this situation here for 100 Thieves a little bit, even though they have to clear out vision through bot side, knowing that Dragon's going to be the focus. These are just pretty late back timers here. So looking at Steel, knowing that he's not going to be here for this drag setup, perhaps the intent? Yeah, the intent's just to bully Ssumday.
Go, gold card. He can eat oranges, but I don't think it's going to be okay. Ssumday now running for his life. He's exhausted. He's taken down. That Summoner Spellbook doing work, and Evi's just chilling.
Did he not have his W?
I don't know.
I don't think he used it on screen, so I'm not sure if he was just using it in a trading pattern and that's what actually prompted it, because that looked like a play that shouldn't work. I mean, Arya goes up, but he was 100% HP. They didn't have a wave stack to actually dive. Yeah. I thought he was just going to be able to remove Scurvy on the gold card. Yes, there's potentially an Everfrost follow-up, but if you get out of the stun immediately, drop the ulti on yourself, he still has flash, like you should be able to kite that out. So would be interested to see if that was used in an earlier trade or what exactly went down there, but at least 100 Thieves do get something on the other side.
Yeah, difficult situation for Ssumday, holding on to the CS advantage as well, but feels like an unnecessary death. Maybe intimidated by the raw confidence of attack speed boost. We'll never know. But of course, in the meantime, 100 Thieves do make the cross-map play. They are slightly behind in gold, but they have 2 Drakes to their name, and I'll say that this is a much closer game than the last time we saw these two teams.
This is why I actually would have liked Detonation FocusMe to sit on the vision that they had towards bot side. I'm fine with Evi in the position that he was in if he sticks to lane, but the fact that they kind of gave up their vision, wanted to play for topside play to get the pick on Ssumday rather than just trying to at least split up the dragon. And now 100 Thieves, next dragon's going to be third.
Flash out from Arya. He wants to keep this trade going. He's got a Leona right behind him. Alistar coming into the mid lane. DFM backing away, and important that they do. Huhi spotted on the control board coming down.
And it ends up just being the trade of flashes. The initial play looking pretty positive, but I think Abbeddage wasn't sure who all was actually behind Arya there. He saw Gaeng, but I don't know if he knew where Steel was. I don't know if he knew if Yutapon was moving as well.
Yeah.
And as a result, he sees the Leona and he just immediately flashes out of there. But 100 Thieves, 2 pretty quick dragons here. It is an Ocean Soul potentially, so something that DFM are going to have to be forced into fighting for. And Tryndamere TF is not the best team fighting. That is one of the areas where you will really favor 100 Thieves, especially before DFM get more items online on this Tryndamere.
Yeah, that's why I would have liked Detonation FocusMe to kind of sit on the last dragon that they had. But now they're going to have to fight for 3rd dragon here. In the end, I like what I see from Detonation FocusMe pushing out bot side, now looking to rotate, get mid control, and then at least fighting for next Rift Herald. I think that's going to be the next play on the map.
Now, though, it looks like the play is going to be in the mid lane. Abbeddage getting locked up, steals an MF fault, but won't get a chance to use it. Point click CC, man, looking really, really strong.
Let's go. I mean, Detonation, the fact that Detonation FocusMe saw that play, looked for a mid dive on Abbeddage, actually was able to do that last time they played 4 minutes in. It's creative from the team.
I mean, Arya is on fire this team. 5-0-0 here, 15 minutes in. They get the kill and they get the mid lane tower, so that is really big. And now you see the DFM squad moving up towards that potential Herald, but there's also always the threat of a wraparound on a Ssumday, so Ssumday actually has to play it relatively carefully. As soon as this Herald comes down, you expect them to look towards topside with it.
Yeah, so Arya has just been the shining light for this team. Last time they played on his Zoe, most comfortable pick, was able to do it. He's being contested here now, so Rift Herald's going to be a tough one for them to get. Sylas does have TP, but he's just going to be here first. Okay. Wow,
Okay.
they give it up.
Big leash there for 100 Thieves. In the end, as DFM do decide to back off, you're closer to be happy with that one. Of course, not the biggest deal to lose out on 2nd Herald, or at least this late of a Herald, but definitely not the situation they wanted to be in.
I mean, you can just see that they have no interest really in team fighting, right? And Arya reset. He's already completed his 2nd item before Abbeddage has his 1st, so he is very far ahead. With the early rapid fire plus Everfrost, they just want to keep rinse and repeat every time TF Salt is up. Try to find an odd number fight, try to find a 2v1, a 3v1 in their favor, get a quick kill, reset on the map, play it slow and steady, and just buy time for this Tryndamere to get items.
Absolutely. And I think one of the difficult points is that for 100 Thieves, FBI has been one of the big, strong performers on this team. And despite how the fact that he has gone even, he's even building a slight edge for himself over Yutapon. Now the TF problem is going to bleed into being his problem. He does have Cleanse, he does have ulti, but when you got a rapid fire cannon and an Everfrost, eventually there will be a misstep and FBI is going to go down.
Yeah, and this is a different look for him in the tournament, because for the most part they gave him draft resources to dominate in lane with the Lucian Nami pretty consistently. This time around it's just a team fight focus, so depending on how the team fights start, then he can be pretty impactful. But if they're finding it difficult to be able to get past that 5-0 Twisted Fate, the Leona Misfortune, which is always going to be really difficult to get in, find a way into that fight versus, then yeah, he's going to be pretty, it's going to be hard for him to be pretty useful in the team fight.
Yeah, we'll just have to see how he works around that, right? Keeping track of the steadfast presence there from the Poppy W.
Yeah.
So powerful. You've got to track that. Make sure you're not ulting face first into that, or you definitely will be going down. I also think a lot of it's going to come down to how the fights actually are playing out themselves, right? If you are diving into the backline, if you are diving and putting pressure on Arya and on Yutapon as 100 Thieves, then I think largely FBI will be pretty free. But if you're just playing this slow and steady game, we're always reacting to the side waves being shoved in by DFM, well, then 100 Thieves have to really be worried about FBI potentially getting picked off by one of these DF ults.
Yeah. Looking for a play here mid.
Coming mid lane, Abbeddage and Ssumday running for the hills. He's going to pull out the oranges, but there's just 2 pieces of CC back to back. Ssumday picked off again.
Actually, right now, FBI, the 3 of 100 Thieves are in a wrong position. It seems like Detonation FocusMe want to wrap around them.
Empowered recall from the Lee Sin. Is he going to stick around? Closer decides to stay. Evi can fully commit. He has the ultimate as well. Huhi's cooldowns are going to be massive here. Abbeddage off on the flank, but he's already burned now. The Everfrost. They're trying to get the fight kicked off. Huhi body blocking as best he can, while FBI and the rest of 100 Thieves just run for the hills. He'll be the sacrificial cow to make sure the rest of the team can get out.
Yeah, it was a good call here from Huhi. It would be a 4v5 at best, but Evi's trying to track FBI down.
It's a costly death, though. Oh, they actually get the cleanse, and now TP's coming behind.
Arya's coming in. He's going to have the flash gold card ready. Flash forward, lock it in. Tryndamere spins in. There's no getting out of that one. It's clean from DFM.
Arya is smurfing on 100 Thieves right now. The cleanse was forced there, and he just comes in. TP cross map, flash, ulti. gets right in there with the Everfrost after the gold card. They're going to take away the dragon here too, and that was really the only thing going in the favor of 100 Thieves, the stack towards the Ocean Soul. So now DFM have bought themselves even more time, and we can see again how this all started in the new aspect replay.
Yeah, I mean, Arya made the call, Steel was coming in from a flank, and I just think this is the best look DFM has had, because after the play was made, they knew they had numbers advantage up top here. And Yutapon, even though he lagged behind, understood he needed the flash here. And if he does, excellent. Like, Huhi is going to die. FBI had no way to basically make the run from what is a tailing Evi. So DFM making plays happen off of an insanely strong Arya.
Yeah, and just the cleanse force there by FBI, who's going to get caught by Evi. So he cleanses that out, but then flash, gold card, the Everfrost layered over top there by Arya. Really nicely done from him. And just clever play. I mean, he's the one who started out onto Ssumday. He's the one who finishes it off with the TP flank from topside to get another kill right where the play started.
And here's my concern with the team fight now from 100 Thieves. Because you don't have the range advantage versus Twisted Fate with rapid fire cannon, Misfortune. From that perspective, it's going to be hard. You have to rely on playmaking off of Lee Sin, Alistar, and as long as Steadfast Presence is used properly from Steel here, like you said, like you don't have an access into the fight, and you're really only banking on the GP ulti being impactful enough so you can wither away at the front line of Detonation FocusMe.
I mean, another thing working for 100 Thieves is the ability for Abbeddage to actually steal away the Tryndamere ult, really go aggressive into the backline. That can be very impactful.
Yes.
You know, Sylas, who is normally one of those more squishy champions, can get punished for just kind of doing these crazy dives into the backline, has a lot more ability to do it.
Looks like a game of chicken here on the bottom side. Ulti now coming out. DFM debating where they want to go. Full vision. TF very, very strong. Has to be respected. That's the empowered there. And that's just going to be it. Nothing they can do. DFM find another pick with the TF.
And as long as Abbeddage sitting in a lane, it's empty, you're always afraid of the numbers of DFM. And at that point, you also had Tryndamere to follow up. It's so hard for 100 Thieves to claim any part of the map.
Now stepping forward though, Ssumday does big damage. He can line up these barrel combos.
Here's
DFM
TP.
backing away, TP on the flank. Yutapon still pushing into mid lane. Everyone spots this one out. Abbedage's just gonna have to run. Gonna be hard to go toe-to-toe with the Tryndamere. Take away the ultimate and see who can live longer. Have to find out. Abbeddage clean side steps coming in, trying to move in. He hasn't been sustained. Now he's gonna have to use his own Tryndamere ult. One! He didn't push it! Why can't NA mids use this ult?
I think he was trying to wait it out. He's trying to get into a situation where he can press it enough late that he can turn and kill Evi after his expires, but he just got greedy, and I'm not sure if that was a crit there from Evi or not, but he smacks him down, and Abbeddage, it's a mid-gap. Arya is running over him. Traditionally, Sylas is considered a good answer to this matchup because you can take the TF ult, you can match the roams. Arya has been everywhere, and Abbeddage has been spending all his time in the well.
Yeah. One has participated in 1 of 5 kills.
He's on the board.
He's on the board.
We
on
take
the
those.
side, we are 9 out of 11 kills for Arya. This man, literally everywhere, 12 stacks on the Medjais. He does so much damage on his own, and the entire team consistently ready to respond to his plays, respond to his ulti cooldowns, and he's got it up again. He's ready. If he spots a single member isolated, the entire team of DFM can collapse. Yeah,
and I love the strategy here from DFM. I mean, they're getting a push off on side lane, and they're constantly looking mid. And there's not much 100 Thieves can do about it, even if FBI is going to be able to get first push here. Like we saw in the last 2 plays, they just get collapsed on by Steel, and the play starts.
And this is why 100 Thieves has to be the ones creating the play themselves, right? You can't actually sit back and respond to everything that DFM did. This got them in trouble against T1. It's getting them in trouble in this game as well against DFM. If you're always responding to the waves that DFM push in, you are going to be split up. You are going to be getting caught out in these odd number situations. So they have got to be first to the objective, set up at the dragon, and be the ones to initiate or force the hand of DFM. Because otherwise you will just get slowly bled out of this game.
And it's just so hard because you have a GP who's obviously fantastic wave clear with the barrels, but then you have a Kaisa and you've got a Sylas. Sometimes it's hard. If you're pushed under those towers, it's difficult to clear the waves. It means that there's so much more space for this team to move through. And I'm sweating out for 100 Thieves because I don't know how you stop a Baron-empowered push against this composition.
I mean, that is going to be incredibly dangerous, but I would still say it would be so risky for DFM to actually start up a Baron, just do a random Baron with this kind of game state. The team fight of 100 Thieves is still very good, but they need to get this next Dragon because they need to have a way to force DFM to come to them. And they can't start up the Baron either. You know, they're not at that point of the game. That would be too risky.
It seems like with 100 Thieves, getting vision on towards top side. They're concerned of DFM pushing towards Baron, or at least trying to sneak it, and that's understandable. But what we need here is either Huhi or Abbeddage being in fog and just trying to threaten Yutapon. Of course, Yutapon or even just Arya, someone in which they can burn flash off him and make another play again.
Definitely an option. For now, though, you got Tryndamere on the top side, Evi catching the wave. Got 2.5 items building towards IS. Wow, got a lot of options, honestly, with a longsword.
Interesting.
We'll see where he wants to go.
Yeah, interesting to see no one is actually going towards the dragon on spawn. So DFM aren't really concerned about it. It's just their second. Abbeddage, if you show top here, this is pretty risky stuff. Arya has the ultimate back again, and he is very split. You know, they can either make a play towards the 4-man squad or potentially towards him, so he has got to get back. But DFM wants to fight for vision in this area. I still feel 100 Thieves want to try to go towards the Ocean Soul, try to be able to threaten Soul Point here. As long as you can keep eyes on that Baron, know that they're not rushing it down, it's not as though DFM is just going to insta-kill the Baron 24 minutes in.
Yeah, and for DFM side, they're just trying to play a safe game where they're giving Evi space to actually split push. And if you're just putting 100 Thieves on a timer, then it's going to put them in a pressured state where, yeah, they're going to start up Dragon. DFM should be in a stronger state to team fight, and here it is, Dragon being started up.
Tryndamere still splitting on the top side. Abbeddage has TP, Evi does as well. See where the focus is going to be. Ssumday, of course, has the ultimate to spot out any potential Dragon attempts, but a quick, easy pickup for the side of DFM. Of course, 100 Thieves don't have to fight for that one. It is not Soul Point yet.
They don't have to, but the problem is, how do you actually get DFM to come to you, right? This is just more and more time being given to DFM because now the earliest possible soul for 100 Thieves is 10 minutes out. So Tryndamere is going to have till 35 minutes. TF is going to have till 35 minutes to split you up, to find picks, to try time and time again to pick you off. Because at this point in the game, with how strong they are, I mean, Lich Bane is completed on top. You know, Arya is at 4 items plus stopwatch. Abbeddage is on 2. If you get a kill in a side lane and you have Lich Bane, that tower is dead. And that's where you can really start to crumble.
And while normally I look at a composition, you know, it's got Poppy as the tankiest member, I'm like, ooh, what's their Baron gonna look like? I also look at that Tryndamere and know that if you give that Tryndamere another 10 minutes, he'll sit in that pit by himself and kill the damn thing.
Yeah.
So you're right, like this is something scary, and you never want to be in this position when you're 100 Thieves. And this was, you know, it's partly because of the difficult early game. While they did have maybe some positive plays on the bottom side, you saw how quickly Arya has taken over the game, and now we just need to see them rally and find some opportunities to force DFM to come into them. GP, when you have to walk into GP, is so broken. Sadly, they're not grouped up as 5 around an objective. It's still going to be so hard for Ssumday to play it out.
That's why I like the pace that DFM is playing. It feels like a veteran type of style. Calm, collected. They're not the ones being pressured here because DFM could just constantly play to sides. They don't have to do anything. It's 100 Thieves that's pressured. So don't be the first one to start Dragon. Don't be the first one to start Baron because they're going to always have to respond to right now. Great example. Just Tryndamere on side lane. Someone has to be there for it. Twisted Fate will soon answer top wave. Sylas has to catch that.
And I do think the DFM draft is honestly pretty smart into what has been a weakness for 100 Thieves, and that has been, you know, knowing where to take the game, you know, from these kind of even states, right? The mid game, the late game is something that they would struggle from, you know, from an advantage in NA, closing out those games. They have a very strong early game. They're generally known for their laning phase, but if DFM is not willing to fight them, it seems that they're unsure how to advance the game.
Huhi gonna use the ultimate. Will just back away. They get the flash out for that one, and now they're engaging in the mid lane. Abbeddage has been caught out. He's getting chain CC'd. Ooh, steadfast presence coming out, but it looks like it's a little bit late. Evi off to the side. That's a 3-item Tryndamere running in. He's got the ultimate coming out as well. W from Kaisa won't connect. It looks like 100 Thieves just going to back away.
A little concern there that DFM would be going for too much, but you should be happy. That's 2 flashes there, but for really a Twisted Fate ultimate, and that's going to come up pretty damn quickly. So now you're in a really good position where if you go back on side lane, it should be at DFM starting Baron and looking for a fight knowing you have 2 primary targets.
And honestly, is Abbeddage just kind of overstepping once again here. And he's going forward into the Leona and the Poppy, and I think just kind of underestimating what they could get done, you know, without a damage dealer behind them. He didn't really respect their threat and ends up having to use his flash here once more. Again, DFM sitting in control. The gold lead is not massive. 100 Thieves could win a 5v5, certainly. Yeah. But DFM has no reason to give them one.
Absolutely. I think the big thing to highlight, of course, is a lot of that gold is in the hands of the TF, is in the hands of Arya. So there is a situation where Arya missteps, and he's played a fantastic game thus far, so there's no reason to assume he'd start making those mistakes. But all it takes is one of those mistakes, one shutdown, and a team fight where Arya isn't there for 100 Thieves to be right back in control.
And quietly, FBI is getting very, very strong. He has the IE, he has his 60% crit. You know, he's at 310 CS, 28 odd minutes in, so he's farming very well. The Kaisa is truly a threat. If you can find some space here, if your front line can find that engage, create the area for you to deal damage, FBI can get it done.
They found him.
Caught out again, has a stopwatch, but he doesn't even get a chance to use it. He does, however, manage to take away the Tryndamere ult just in time. He's now stunned them up, bought a bit of space. Deadman Presence about to fall away. Huhi maybe can get something done here, but the entire team just has to run. FBI doesn't get to do anything. He gets locked up. He's forced to use the cleanse. Evi now on the chase. It's absolute domination from DFM in the exchange.
Now that's 2 down from 100 Thieves, and 100 Thieves know that Baron's just going to be on the table here for DFM, and so, yeah, this is what they were looking for. Yutapon was clearing through mid, and Evi was just sitting there waiting for Abeddage to show his head.
Yeah, Arya just finding these plays time and time again, and now it's straight onto the Baron here, trying to force in the 5v3, but Evi does have TP, he doesn't have ult though, so they could actually turn on this. If they spot the Tryndamere, you can kill him off here potentially.
7K. Split attention though, 6K getting lower. Evi now regrouping with the team, recognizes that he could go down in that one. Closer off to the side though, Miracle Baron steal. Feels impossible against the Poppy, but have to go for it, have to find an opportunity into the pit. FBI, where's he gonna go? Arya has been marked up, he can try to leap back, goes invisible for a brief moment. TP now coming in. They've gotten DFM off
They
the
could look
Baron.
for the fight. They're kind of corralled.
Closer going in, clean kick instantly to Leona, now gonna get taken down. No, just barely living, held on. FBI will finally finish that kill. Ssumday now getting run down by Evi. Evi, no ultimate means 100 Thieves can take the fight. This is massive.
That is so big for 100 Thieves. They want to get more here. Huhi on the hunt, but they do not have eyes on Yutapon. He's going to get out. TF ults out to safety, so it is just the kills for 100 Thieves. They will take mid lane tower off the back of that, but narrowly avoiding disaster. As we can see, DFM turning off the Baron here. They weren't willing to 50-50.
Yeah, and just even taking a look at this, if they wanted to look for a turn, someone needed to be in fog. Like, sure, Tryndamere came in from a flank on TP, but it gave the opportunity there, man.
That's absolutely a misclick. They're stacked. Yutapon as well as Gaeng are right on top of each other, and he absolutely meant to kick in DMF. There's no doubt in my mind.
Yeah.
That's who he was looking for. They do still get the kill onto Gaeng, and it doesn't end up really mattering tremendously. But that's just one of those situations where when the models are stacked, it's difficult to find your target.
1000%, but that's still good for 100 Thieves because for DFM, that is 100% a fight you want to take. But if Leona or the Twisted Fate is in a better position, you can make that turn easily.
And crucially, we talked about it. 100 Thieves, yes, they were behind, but not so far behind that they couldn't win the team fight. After that fight, they did not get Baron, but they did get third Drake. Crucial now because they can force DFM to come to them. They don't have to deal with side lanes. They don't have to deal with anything else. They say, hey, we're taking this Ocean Soul if you do not come, and they're going to force DFM to respond.
And we'll see if DFM will be able to respond or if they can buy time again prior, try to find a pick, try to threaten the base. Because while they took down the tier 1s very quickly, they have yet to get a tier 2 tower in quite a long time here that they have had. Haven't really been able to find it. Abeddage does not have a stopwatch, doesn't have his zonies complete, but they're wrapping around here. They are looking for Yutapon.
In the area, but Huhi is going to have to give his life just for this attempt. TF now coming in as well. Gold card on the side, keep your eyes on Abeddage. FBI for now untouched as well. He is the strong member of the team. Abeddage still going. Evi now forced to use the ultimate before the fight even kicks off. That's the stolen Poppy ultimate. Backing away, good poke. They get the Tryndamere ult. So far, overall positive as FBI remains untouched. Gaeng marked up. Gaeng, ooh, just barely making it out.
That was actually really well played there by Huhi, not overcommitting, not going in too far. They force out the Tryndamere ult, and without Tryndamere ult, there's no shot that you can actually team fight. And we are seeing some of the drawbacks of actually bringing TP here on Tryndamere. Flash is such a critical team fight tool for a Tryndamere to be able to E-flash into the backline and really threaten those carries. And though Ghost is good, Ghost doesn't give you that instant jump into the backline. So as long as FBI is being smart with the Evolved E, going into a Viz, staying away from this Tryndamere, it's really tough for Evi to get past the front line.
Yeah, and even taking a step back, actually, they're trying to go for Arya here.
Arya flash forward, clean from Abeddage thus far. Arya, though, now running out, has the Ghost, stolen away the ultimate. Are they going to fully commit to this one? Huhi coming off to the side, he doesn't see the Alistar, and that should just be it. The TF now running, Kaisa coming in. Arya, 3 or 4 seconds. The rest of DFM on the way. Yutapon throwing the ulti across the team, but closer now in the area. He's going to go for the kickback, trying to save the rest of the team now. DFM, 4 members. Across the 4 members from 100 Thieves. Do they keep the fight going? Ssumday waiting in the darkness. Barrel coming out. Will not find. The connection as Steel continues to push forward. A lot of blinking health bars. Abbeddage half health. Huhi about 30%. They will back away. DFM, do they feel confident enough to start at the Baron? For now, just focusing on the Vision.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to be able to just go Baron right there, but that's a big kill because you knock some of the stacks off of Arya. It is the 1-for-1, but they get a big shutdown. They remove some of the stacks. And now DFM are going to go onto it, but they're actually showing their bot lane mid to try to give 100 Thieves a false sense of security here. I'm not sure if 100 Thieves are aware whatsoever, but now with the bot lane leaving mid lane, they should expect it.
GP ult and double blue trinkets. They know this one is coming, but it's 6k health and the entire team is there. There's no CC to set up an ult for FBI into the pit. He doesn't even have it. If they did, 1k getting lower. They are going to now grab it. Can they take the fight in the meantime? Abbeddage stolen MF ult. Big damage across the entire team, but Steel there with the body block. The presence already gone. TF now coming in as well. Arya making sure that his team can retreat. Baron for the side of DFM.
And that's a successful heist. Detonation FocusMe only pushing through mid lane, but then being able to start that Baron with 2 members and then now being able to take it. That was a long string of plays that happened when 100 Thieves were pretty low and had to get a base off. And so taking a look at this, sure, it starts with a great play from 100 Thieves trying to pick off the most fed member in Arya. And the fact that Detonation FocusMe was able to get the kill on towards Closer with that mistake there being made, thinking he can get a pick off of Yutapon. Yeah, now they have a member down 100 Thieves. The rest have to go back to base. Great play.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, to me, the initial play is good. It's the secondary play. It's looking for too much after that. You know, seeing Yutapon wanting to get more, not respecting the fact that all of DFM would be moving up there to support Arya. And with him going down, DFM do grab the Baron, but 100 Thieves still looking pretty strong here. You look over at FBI, he is huge at this point of the game. And I think 100 Thieves are still going to try to play for this Ocean Soul, and it's going to have to be DFM answering that or trying to give it up, look for some sort of a crazy base race type play. But I mean, 100 Thieves, if you're sitting here waiting for a pick and no one's answering the mid wave, DFM could just stay on mid, and now you're split from Abbeddage. He's going to have to TP to join.
Do they want to take this? Abbeddage now coming in. They've been corralled onto the bottom side, but it's enemy territory. Have to be careful on how they play this one out. Closer, though, if he lines up a clean kick, maybe it's the fight that they're fishing for.
So split.
It's entirely split. Ssumday now throwing down the ultimate. Steel ready to body block. That Alistar can't make it into the back side, and now immediately fight's kicking off. Abbeddage doing good damage to Tryndamere. For now, untouched. FBI able to free him, but that's big damage from the MF. Outplayed by a single button. DFM cleaning up this fight with confidence. Abbeddage going to get one back in exchange. Goes golden for a moment. Does not have the cooldowns to survive.
Yeah, that was just really weird from 100 Thieves. Closer being split off. Huhi's taking the long way. And yeah, they want to go straight through mid, at least to pick up the mid inhib.
Yeah, I mean, they're just going to push it in. They have the Baron buff here. Looks like they're not going to try to go for any sort of crazy end. They are just going to take the dragon, move themselves to soul point. But that's a really big misplay from FBI. That was a winnable team fight. You have flash and do not flash the MF ulti. You go down 100-0 to the MF ultimate. If you flash out of that, you still have your ulti to follow up on any sort of a play. You get a stun tagged onto Yutapon, you can delete that guy. Abbeddage was actually getting work done in that fight, and that was a winnable one. That would have been Ocean Soul for 100 Thieves.
You also have Stopwatch, which also could have mitigated the damage.
Yeah.
The only person hitting you or anywhere remotely near you, as we'll see in this replay, is the MF.
Yeah, and I've got a question. Why was Closer splitting so much away from the team? You know, it's almost as though he's looking for some sort of a wraparound play, but you're in full vision of them. And he just gives away a freebie here. Yes, he does get the kickoff on 2 members, but then all eyes on FBI. He deletes Steel off on the top side and just completely underestimating the damage that's going to come out there from the MF ulti. Nothing else hit him. That's 100-0, 1 button there. And DFM given a bit of a freebie off the misplay there from FBI, and they are in such a good spot here now.
That's why I like the initial idea there from 100 Thieves. Either find someone splitting on side lane, be it Arya or Evi, or, you know, if it doesn't work out, you still are going to play for vision around Dragon through bot lane, but it didn't work out.
It didn't work out at all. And I mean, it was just really poor team fighting from 100 Thieves, but they're looking for a pick here now.
Kicking off there, uses the chem tank, gets in range, but of course, difficult to lock down the Tryndamere at this point in the game. Ssumday trying to step forward to clear against Yutapon, but you got 3 members collapsing on him. He has to try to clear this wave and get out. Big slow coming in. Yutapon just going to break down this tier 2 gold into the pocket of DFM, as that's going to be the collapse. Huhi now interrupted. This should be an easy kill for the Tryndamere. Huhi trying to buy as much space as he can, but expect him just to get run down eventually. All of 100 Thieves collapsing to try to punish. Evi, of course, does have the ultimate up and available, is going to use it in time. Is now going to dash out to safety instantly again! Woo! Again, 100 to 0!
Not again, FBI! He's opening up for DFM!
It's a heartbreaker for FBI and 100 Thieves. Already knocked out of contention. We're hoping to even up the LJL versus NA scoreline, or rather stay ahead 3-1. They might be facing down a 2-2, a tie that we'll have to resolve at the next international event. We will see if they can make the impossible hold. For now, all of DFM collapsing. Arya fishing, ready with the gold card to punish.
Yeah, and Huhi's looking for the flank, so I think what they're going to try to do is find a long flank as soon as FBI respawns. They want to try to make something happen.
Ssumday flashing out. Abbeddage has stolen Leona ultimate. Huhi now going in. He's going to find a decent combo, but just gets immediately knocked out by the Poppy. Now Evi going forward, fully committing. Abbeddage buying a bit more space with the stopwatch. Huhi going in. Does he have the cooldowns? Abbeddage flashing out to safety, ticking, burning.
FBI up in 2.
FBI maybe, just maybe. Not a lot of CC to set up for his access into the back line, but DFM, they're not risking anything. They refuse to overstay, and they're going to back off.
Yeah, and now 100 Thieves, 2 inhibs down, and there's nothing really they can pick up. Baron's going to be up in 30 seconds, but by the time DFM bases, they're going to be up to defend it. So there's just so much that 100 Thieves have to deal with. This seems like a far-off game unless if they can find that miracle pick or a team fight.
Yeah, I mean, it's really got to be Ocean Soul, right? You know, that's the way to try to get it. But at this point, with your base in shambles, only 1 Nexus tower, if you show up to Ocean Soul, well, maybe DFM just ports into your base and actually ends the game. So it's so much more difficult now. Baron is spawning. 100 Thieves are just going to hard commit to it. They feel that this is their last chance.
Heavy on the side. Trying to zone them away. They can get the blast going to get a bit more space to him. Huhi now into the pit. Desperation for the side of 100 Thieves. FBI alive. He's got all his sums. He's got his ultimate. He's going to be the key member. But in the meantime, it's a Tryndamere versus Sylas battle off the side. Evi running. FBI looking to finish the kill. The auto goes forward. Gordringer not enough. That's a shutdown. That's a start. Arya off to the side. 100 Thieves holding on, but playing on the edge.
Waves, though.
Exactly. They're on a timer. So they have to be able to answer this wave. And that's a good opportunity for DFM to just start Baron.
Ssumday debating. Such a hard decision. You're caught between a rock and a hard place. There's no 100% clean decision. You will lose something no matter what you do if you're 100 Thieves.
And I guess the call is just give the Baron here, answer the waves, try to push out waves and get ready for a potential Ocean Soul. But again, you are then risking DFM just giving up the soul and trying to end the game here. So 100 Thieves trying to force for the fight there. They did find the pick onto Evi, but they give up the Baron for it. They are going to be at Ocean Soul on spawn. But
this is it.
Evi will have TP, so you've got to answer the base as well. And this makes it really, really kind of dicey because Abbeddage is going to be answering the base, and you can try to potentially TP in Evi and have a 5v4 at the Dragon and force him to respond.
Yeah, that's just DFM pinging the base. So they're completely content playing for this. 100 Thieves are just going to have to base now and defend this.
I think
8-second recall timers, no one from the side of DFM is going to interrupt. So right now, we're getting a siege from DFM.
Huhi's
where they
for the
just
flank.
Gave up Ocean Soul, so this is the best it's going to get for 100 Thieves. Ssumday now stepping forward onto Yutapon. Big damage, but Yutapon hits like an absolute truck. Huhi into the backside there. Gonna one-shot the 80 carry. No more MF ult yet, but she's going to come back for the GA. Abbeddage ready to go, and he has the ultimate stolen away as well. The exhaust ticks down, and it's big damage, but FBI will live this time. The entire team now trying to peel for him, but there's a Tryndamere immediately now going in. His GA has been procced. Evi's still standing. Evi, ultimate not available, has now been used. Closer still going. 100 Thieves. Can they do it, FBI? Can you do it? The kick in, the finish. FBI has to focus on the waves. He cannot go back for Arya. Arya debating what his options are, but 100 Thieves hold the line.
Oh, they hold just barely, but the Nexus is exposed. They have the Ocean Soul here. GAs on both sides coming in clutch as multiple GAs were caught there. Huhi was on the flank, and Ssumday actually had a great start to this fight, getting in onto Yutapon off the back of that barrel and setting him up for the combo.
Yeah, great pressure on Yutapon just to be able to get that kill. Ssumday buying a lot of time with his own stopwatch, so by the time they get the kill on him, they're able to deal with Yutapon. FBI is able to get so much damage off of that 2-man headbutt that came through Huhi. So great job over that fight just to be able to save the game.
Man, FBI, he got lit up by the MF though when he went in. What was that, 2 autos? This man's down to 10% HP. FBI's life just blinking before his eyes there.
It's a comet full lethality MF, and she's got, oh man, she's got every item that you just do not want to see as an AD carry, especially as a Kaisa.
But I respect upgrading the stopwatch into the GA because that one you don't have to press.
That's true. We never saw
it works by itself.
Oh man, I think we look back at that, the really good, I mean, obviously there's a ton of good news. One, 100 Thieves still get to play League of Legends in this match. They're holding on.
That's a check mark.
But I think they essentially got Ocean Drake for free in the end because they did win that fight. You can see negative Baron power play for the side of DFM, and we are hitting the threshold of the game where gold doesn't matter. Sadly, that's usually the worst time to play against a Tryndamere, but there's always room for you to out-execute. If Poppy missteps once, you might be able to just take these fights.
Yeah, I mean, it's so late into the game that, yes, DFM have the opportunity to try to just backdoor and end the game, but also, if you do find that fight, I mean, 100 Thieves have made so many mistakes, but those can be wiped away with one good team fight because the respawn timers are so long, 45 minutes in, that you win the fight, you often just walk down and end it, no matter how many towers are still up.
Yeah, and I would say 100 Thieves has shown good intent overall. If they're ever in a position where DFM is just splitting, to just attack the splitter.
Yeah.
So that's been Evi's deaths, that's been Arya's deaths, and so at least it gives them a good idea, and they have a good amount of wave clear just off Ssumday alone.
And I think the big thing right now is that you just have so much time because you do hold the line there. 2.5 minutes till Baron. 3 minutes now till Elder Dragon hits the board. Anyone who needs to get items now from the side of 100 Thieves is going to be able to get the items that they want. Abbeddage picking up blue buff. And you see now, even if certain members might have been behind earlier, Abbeddage finally catching up. 4 items under his belt. He's got a control word as well. FBI, full build, a GP at 4 items too. These champions hit hard. Yes, Tryndamere gets to ignore them for a few seconds. The rest of DFM certainly do not.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, you can see that the 100 Thieves are aware that there is the potential of a TP to end the game, right? They dropped 2 pinks in the base to check for wards. They swept out the base. They even dropped a pink in the side lane brush and top lane as well. So they're trying to think, all right, where could they have hidden a ward that we're missing? Because if Tryndamere gets in the base behind you, the game ends. There's no shot you're going to get a full recall off if he's been ignored. And it's trying to be a secret agent Evi here, circumventing the vision. He's seeing if he can get down towards bot lane and really try to put on a bit of pressure. But with no objectives up on the map, it's not really the time to split. You need to have something cross-map that you can get when they collapse on you.
And I would say the good thing that Arya has been doing for the past like 30 seconds is he's sitting in fog. So 100 Thieves can't cross the river. Every single time they push mid-wave, they just have to back away. Because at any time, Arya can cross river, ulti, take inhib. His team could buy time for him and he can just end the game. So
high pressure, certainly. Every TF ult has to be a little bit anxiety-inducing. Have I overstayed in the lane? Have I overstepped the boundary here? But for now, just vision for the side of DFM, trying to control as much as they can. Not spotting out all the wards from the side of 100 Thieves is crucial. It's going to make the Baron that much easier for them to contest if it comes down to it. 42 seconds and counting till the objective will be up.
Yeah, it's looking like 100 Thieves trying to play more around that bot side. They want to look towards Elder. But, Baron pretty powerful here too, and is the longer lasting buff. Elder obviously does have a lot of value if you can find a fight, but they're struggling to get one. And DFM at this point, I think they know they're really not favored in the 5v5. There are ways they can win a 5v5, like if you get one of those incredible MF ultimates that just insta-kills FBI or something, sure. But barring that, they should lose 5v5, so they want to circumvent it. They want to split them up. And as a result, you don't really care about the Elder as much as you normally would.
Right now, last moments before the next big objective, he does get contested. Ssumday set off to a sideline. Evi there to match, but all the TPs, all the summoner spells, everything is up and available. So teams coming in at relatively even footing, all things considered. Yes, there is a pretty big gold discrepancy in the favor of DFM, but there's an Ocean Soul on the side of 100 Thieves, and we're late enough now that that gold is not going to feel nearly as significant.
Yeah, and Tryndamere does so much damage that he's just not going to leave the side lane right now. And he's going to make Ssumday's job much harder. Every time Ssumday leaves to join the team or even just kind of rotates over, he's going to get punished. And so right now, Detonation FocusMe are in the same position they were last time where they're not going to be the ones starting the objective. But now with Elder up, that might change.
Big problem. Tryndamere can always threaten the solo. It will take a decent amount of time. Good news is Ssumday can join the fight without joining the fight through the power of the Cannon Barrage. 100 Thieves need to be confident here. They're going to get the vision. They're going to know it's started up. They need to pull the trigger. They need to go in. They need to be ready. That's TF on the flank. He's sprinting down the mid lane. All-out brawl. What can they do? Huhi's going to have to backstep and try to peel so the rest of the team can go in. It's going to be a difficult decision. GP all now coming in. Evi fully committed. They don't have any minions. They don't need any. GP now going in. They're fully committed. The Tryndamere will not die. Oh, they have to burn through him. They have to kick him back. They have to use every form of CZ known to man. They stop him. They punch him into the fountain. Oh, it goes through that. It's going to work, and now the fight's kicking off. DFM, they wanted the back door. 100 Thieves said not today.
100 Thieves! Now, the question is, can you end the game? Or does the madness continue? The great spawn timers are so long. Surely you can just walk it down and close it out. But Closer and Huhi combining there to kill off the Tryndamere during his ulti. Because the kick from Closer gets him close to the well, and then Huhi headbutts him into the well. And the laser kills you through Tryndamere ultimate, so Evi goes down. Otherwise, he would have had the kill in the next for sure.
This is the most valuable minion of his life right now. This minion is going to lead them to the end of the game.
The president getting escorted. The fountain laser, a legitimate piece of gameplay. What an absolute madhouse. 100 Thieves finding the win, taking down Detonation FocusMe.
Clean stuff. Really a textbook game there from 100 Thieves.
Yeah, just another day.
Yeah, classic punt.
Just another day at the office.
You know, if you guys haven't been practicing the punt the Tryndamere back into the fountain strategy in scrims, you've just been wasting time.
That's really what we focus on
100%,
in the LCS.
yes.
They had that situation.
They had that lineup,
They had that shit
like,
nailed.
that was clean. I haven't seen, I've seen these movement around a single object like that since the World Cup. You know what I mean?
Incredible.
They're just setting it up.
The most reviewable late game of a lifetime. Yeah, we're going to be running these concepts until 2025.
Yeah. Well, 100 Thieves, at least it wasn't clean. You can see FBI in particular looking very unhappy.
Yeah.
A lot of the 100 Thieves members I do not think played up to their standard, you know, in this tournament, but also really in particular in this game. Arya had an incredible game on the TF. He was roasting them. But a lot of misplays from 100 Thieves, you know, looking, I think, out of sorts. Closer, you know, splitting off from the team bot lane, dying there. FBI, multiple deaths with flash and stopwatch available. That is not something we are used to seeing. And he looked very frustrated with themselves. You know, 100 Thieves, obviously, I still think should be happy with their year overall, grabbing their first title in the LCS, and really showing that they are a team to be reckoned with in North America. But still some work to do here, clearly, on the international stage.
100%. And I think from both teams, the fact that they're on this stage, for a lot of players, new experience, especially for Detonation FocusMe, another loss, but a first time being on the main stage.
Yeah.
And they're just getting better and better because through play-ins, you know, they did pretty well, but up against the top teams, of course, struggling. And then especially in week 1 in the main stage, having a really tough time. But I think they're getting better and better around Arya. Team play is working much better for them.
Certainly, and hope that we can continue to see this roster at international events, see if they can continue to make those big runs out of plans. But for now, obviously, we'll see what they can do with the rest of the day. It's going to be difficult overall. But of course, your Oppo player of the game is none other than Huhi. I fully thought we'd be giving this to Arya, but you know who absolutely had to change my mind? None other than the Alistar master himself.
I mean, I think he had the most mistake-free game. I think that Huhi actually played a very clean game. And here it is one more time. The kick, and then Evi, I guarantee you he was not thinking about that flash headbutt into the fountain laser. The 6th man there coming up clutch for 100 Thieves. Actually, maybe we should reevaluate it. Should it be the fountain that is actually the Oppo player of the game
I'll
here?
take it.
Because the fountain was the only one capable of taking down the Tryndamere at that point in the game.
The only thing in the game capable of killing a Tryndamere. Yeah. I mean, it's something to consider, for sure.
Yeah,
but we don't have an interview with the Fountain. After the break, Laura will hear from Huhi, our actual Oppo player of the game, on his first international